All right, so by now you've figured out that I'm kind of into this intuitive eating thing, this food freedom thing, this anti-diet culture thing. I have embraced the lifestyle, I have been doing the reading, and I am loving the life experience that I am gaining because of it. I truly believe that in these past about 2 months, I have just done an overhaul of like my mindset and my spirit and my body. Like everything feels like it's been coming together and it has been wonderful. And I'm pretty certain that that has come across on some of the content that I have been creating lately. And so I'm willing to bet that someone out there is wondering, how can I get a taste? How can I dabble? How can I get started in a lifestyle such as this? Well, today I want to give you 4 little things, quick things, give you like the quick start guide to beginning intuitive eating. Now, there are of course many different ways that you could take this, but these are just the thoughts that came to my head when I was like, if I was telling somebody this is how to get started, these are kind of like the 4 things that I think would be most beneficial to dabble in first. So this is just my opinion, but this is what I came up with, okay? Before we get into the tips, allow me to introduce myself. Hello, my name is Brianna. I am the diva behind Diva and the Divine. And here on my channel, I am sharing with you my journey through life to find my most balanced, healthy, and confident self. And I'm coaching other women to do the exact same. And this video kind of is part of that. So my first tip, my first thing that I think you should do in order to kind of dabble in the intuitive eating lifestyle is to find a food that you think is a treat, that you think is a bad food, that you're like, oh, this is something that I do not have control over. I want you to pick one, just one, pick one, buy it, and eat it every day. No, I'm not kidding. Eat it every single day. Making peace with food is one of the primary pillars of intuitive eating. And until we neutralize food, until we stop the good food, bad food thinking that, oh, I can't have this because this is a treat. Oh, I can't have this because this is going to blow my calories or macros away. No, we're done. And a lot of people often believe, and sometimes this happens and it's okay, but a lot of people will often go, oh, well, I can't intuitively eat this thing because I'm just going to eat 5,000 calories worth of it. First of all, so what if you do? Second of all, it's not going to last forever because eventually, once you start to get in tune with your body, you're going to realize that your body doesn't want you to eat the heaping spoonfuls of buttercream frosting constantly every day, day after day after day. Your body's going to say no. I promise you, your body's going to say no. So to get a jump start on that, think of that one thing. What is that one thing for you right now? Actually, comment down below with what your treat food is, with the food that when I said, pick up this food and eat it every single day, what's the food that came to your mind? I'm very, very curious to know, so leave a comment down below. But I want you to take that food that popped into your head, go get some, bring it home, and allow yourself permission to have some every single day. You don't need to track it. You don't need to count it. You don't need to weigh it. All you gotta do is eat it, okay? Can you do that? I think you can. The second way you can start to embrace this intuitive eating lifestyle is gonna scare a lot of you. Ditch the tracker, my friends. Ditch the tracker. Take a day. This is what I've been telling some of my previous coaching clients and current coaching clients that are interested in getting into the intuitive eating mindset, but are terrified to let go of tracking. Let's just not track one day. Or if that's too scary, let's just not track one meal, right? With the understanding that not tracking doesn't mean eating like a jerk, right? We're still honoring our body, respecting our body, nourishing our body, all of those things. We're just not weighing, measuring, or tracking any of it. It's a novel concept, isn't it? We can still be healthy and not track our food at the same time. So the challenge, the introduction to intuitive eating is pick a meal, pick a day, pick a week, don't track anything. Tip number 3 is to eat undistracted. And this can also be something very hard for a lot of people, myself included. I am constantly eating distracted. I've got my iPad in front of me or my phone in my hand. But one of the primary things, like the most important thing, well, it depends who you ask about what the most important thing about intuitive eating is. But for me, one of the things that really was the game changer for me was listening to my body's hunger cues and fullness cues and satisfaction cues and stopping before I hit the point of overstuffed or too full. And if you're distracted while you're eating, you're not listening to your body. So eating undistracted is a critical thing, especially at the beginning, in order for you to be able to be still and listen to the signals that your body is giving you. This is critical, and this is what a lot of people who are afraid of everything else that has to do with intuitive eating struggle with. They're afraid that they're not going to stop. But if you start to listen to your body and you go, oh, I'm actually not hungry anymore, you have permission to stop. It's amazing, but you have to listen for that signal. When we're fully immersed in diet culture, we ditch all of the signal listening, right? We let the tracker dictate how much we eat. We let meal times and intermittent fasting and all of these other things dictate when and how much we eat, instead of letting our bodies dictate when and how much we eat. Now, there is a lot more nuance to this that I am going to get into in this video, so subscribe if you want some more information that's coming down the pipeline. But just for today, what I want you to know is that eating undistracted is where the power is, especially in the beginning. Be still. Be quiet. Let your body do the talking. And here's the thing. You gotta listen. Listen to your body. And it's easier to do when you put the phone down, when you put the TV away, and you just let your body enjoy the meal. Take the time to feel the meal, the textures, the tastes, all of it, the sensory, get the full sensory experience of your meal, because then it's going to also feel more satisfying to you as an entire eating experience. And then the last thing I suggest for kickstarting your way into intuitive eating is actually to do some research and do some reading. A couple of the books that I recommend, and I will have them linked down below. The literal handbook on intuitive eating is called Intuitive Eating: An Anti-Diet Approach. Make sure you get the 4th edition of this book, but this was the first intuitive eating book I read, and it laid everything out there. It had great points. It painted the picture. It is essentially the book that has it all. And the 4th edition has updated information for our exposure to social media and things that are a lot more prevalent today than it was when the book was originally written. Good Food, Bad Diet is another book that I read and I loved. And for my Christian friends out there, I am in the middle of, and I'm actually almost done. I probably have one more driving session before my book is over. I'm listening to a book called Feed Yourself. The author is a Christian dietitian, and she leans into non-weight biased or non-weight related, weight neutral coaching and things of that nature. And the whole book is about intuitive eating, and it has, biblical principles and all sorts of things in it. And the number of times, let me just tell you, the number of times that I have audibly gasped or gone, or oh, or even crap. That's happened a couple times too. Oh my gosh, so many profound, mind-boggling, and challenging moments in this book that I highly, highly recommend. You don't have to be a Christian to read it. It's got great points in it whether you're a Christian or not, trust me. But especially for us Christians, she will hit a couple of things that are going to make you think twice about your involvement in diet culture. And if that statement in and of itself made you go, ooh, I don't think I want to read it, it's probably a sign that you should. So that's it, quick and easy, 4 ways that you can kickstart your journey into dabbling in intuitive eating if you so choose. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like I said, all of those books will be linked in the info box for you. I hope you found this helpful, and I cannot wait to share more about this life-changing, literally life-changing journey that I have been on these past 2 months. Take care, my friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye.